I know what you're thinking. It's a pretty sick beard, huh? Yeah, that's because it is. COVID haircut, COVID beard for these COVID times. What's up, everyone? Today we are going to talk about the news this week of Apple introducing a brand new-ish 13-inch MacBook Pro for 2020. Now, you know me, I like a tiny laptop. I really like the 12-inch MacBook Pro they had back in the early 2000s, the 11-inch MacBook Air, which I recently purchased, because that's what you do with a 5-year-old laptop. You buy it in 2020. And of course, the current generation 13-inch MacBook Pro. Now, I was excited for the 16-inch MacBook Pro, the refresh that they just did, because it finally gave me some reason, some drive to want to buy an Apple product again. And as with every other year in the history of Apple, usually once they release updates to their flagship, it usually follows up down the line on their other laptops, usually either right along with it or shortly thereafter. But as with many of you, I was deeply saddened. My heart was broken when Jonathan Morrison asked Phil Schiller himself if we would be seeing a 14-inch version of that same 16-inch MacBook Pro.
No, I wouldn't draw any extrapolation from this to anything else.
So no 14-inch MacBook Pro then. I'll link to John's video up here and down there so you can go see the whole interview with Phil Schiller yourself. But it was like that for many months until John Prosser tweeted this at the beginning of April. For a moment, our hopes were renewed until you realize the picture that John tweeted with that message was of the same 13-inch MacBook Pro, the same form factor. It was going to be 13 inches again. Well, the day John prophesied came just this past week, and we were introduced to a brand new-ish 13-inch MacBook Pro. So where do I stand on all this? Well, like I said earlier, I love a tiny laptop, and I would really love something that was powerful enough to get done what I need to do and in kind of a smaller form factor. So I am always looking for some kind of small laptop that can get the job done. Now I've got my 15-inch MacBook over here that I've had since 2012 that has been a workhorse for the last 8 years, and it's still running strong. Yeah, it's kind of showing its age, but not really, because Apple makes good laptops. It's just what they do. But of course, 15-inch laptops are not the lightest to carry around, at least not the MacBook Pro. You could do it, and many people do, but it's obviously not the lightest. So knowing that there's usually an update to the 13-inch after a 15-inch, or 16 in this case, has been announced, I've been waiting all these years for the 13-inch to catch up to where my 15-inch MacBook is right now. And it's always kind of just fallen short. Last year, they finally came out with a quad-core version and with 16 gigs of RAM, which is what my MacBook Pro has right now. But honestly, to be interested in something like this, I needed a product that would surpass what my current laptop does. Up until recently, it has just met that same spec. Yeah, newer processors, but pretty much the same spec. So I wouldn't see any performance increase out of a newer laptop for what I'm doing. But finally, it has been done. So what's the big update then? Well, now every version of the new 13-inch MacBook Pro comes with a quad core. Now, if you look closely, you can see that some of them are an old 8th gen as compared to the higher end model that has the 10th gen. So the base model has an 8th gen, higher end has a 10th gen. And I'm going to link another video from Dave 2D who kind of goes through that and really says why that's not a big deal. And you should be good even if you go with the base model. Now, quad core is the minimum that I need to be able to do video and audio editing and other kind of professional higher end projects. And, 16 gigs of RAM is kind of what I have as a bare minimum. It'd be really nice if these were able to be bumped up to 32 and have that extra RAM. Oh, that's right, they are. So now with that, with quad core processors on every spec and the ability to have up to 32 gigs of RAM, now I can see myself reasonably updating to a smaller form factor with more power. We've finally gotten there. So the question is, will I be upgrading though? And unfortunately, the answer is no. No, I won't. And for two very specific reasons. First is that this is basically like a mid-cycle yearly update that they do to these computers. And other than finally putting the nail in the coffin of those stupid butterfly keyboards, which I actually have a work computer over here that has it and it's awful, then that's finally gone. This was the last one in this range, but it's really just an incremental update. You get the nice keyboard. Finally the scissor switches are back with the Magic Keyboard that they're calling it, which is basically the same keyboard they had before. But that is really it. And since I already have that in my old laptop, it doesn't make sense to upgrade to a computer that has the same keyboard I used to have. And two is that Apple makes good products. They just do. They make really good laptops. So my 8-year-old laptop is still running strong. Like I said earlier, it's maybe showing a little bit of wear, but not a lot. I can do most things on my 15-inch laptop that's 8 years old. And I had a 2007 version before that was really, really solid. The only thing that happened to that is that I decided to drop it too many times, and that's gonna, break a screen. That happens. That happened. It happened. And yes, would I love a new laptop? Of course I would. Who wouldn't love a new laptop? But I just can't justify spending $2,600, which is what I'd have to spec it at to surpass my current laptop. I just can't justify spending that much right now. I'm going to give you a third reason. We'll just call it a bonus reason, is that I'm still kind of holding off for a 14-inch version of this. Now, as we saw on the 16-inch, they increased the screen size, didn't really increase the actual physical size of the laptop itself, which means we can hold out for a 14-inch screen and still have the same basic form factor. It's small, it's compact, it's got power to the nth degree. Awesome. And I don't know what it is, if it's just a little bit of that extra screen, the smaller bezels, or just the fact that I can say, you got a 13-inch MacBook Pro? I've got the 14. Bottom line, this is a good product. It just is. Apple makes incredible computers and strong computers. They'll last you a long time. With finally getting rid of that stupid keyboard, are you going to go wrong with this one? Not at all. If you decide to buy this one, you'll be happy. Just saying, there might be better things in the future if you just hold out for a little bit longer. Just saying. Well, those are my thoughts on the new-ish 13-inch MacBook Pro. Why don't you guys comment below? Let me know what you think of this new one. Will you upgrade, or is it just a little refresh and not interesting you at all? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thumb up it. You can also thumb down it if you so choose to do. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and other reviews and unboxings that we do. And be sure to get the bell on so that you know when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.